Hello, my name is Andy, and I am the village idiot, and I'm armed with a car and a GoPro, and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. Welcome back to the district of Selby and to the parish of Camblesforth. Camblesforth is a village and civil parish in the Selby district of North Yorkshire. According to the 2001 census, the parish had a population of 1,526, which increased to 1,568 in 2011. The village is 5 miles south of Selby and 7 miles to the west of Goole. An electoral ward with the same name exists. This ward stretches south to Carlton, with a total population taken at the 2011 census of 4,317. This is another Selby village which has very little about it available online, but once again I think I found the main parts. It's very much a commuter village, just like Carlton, standing as it does in a very central location between Selby and Goole. Being close to the M62 means it's easy to travel to other nearby areas such as Doncaster, Leeds, Sheffield and Hull. The A19 to the north is the road to York, and you also aren't far away from the Yorkshire coast here either. In many ways, Camblesforth ticks all the boxes that commuters look for when buying a property. The village is right next to and stands in the shadow of Drax Power Station. You get some great views of the plant from here. Arguably, Camblesforth's most impressive property is Camblesforth Hall and Grange, which is used as a wedding venue. We'll see that later. To the northwest of the village is Camblesforth Common, a vast area of flat farmland which has the occasional wooded area within it. It's laced with public footpaths and well worth venturing out into if you like a good ramble. I'll tell you what, there's some black ice about today. There was in Carlton as well, because I filmed this on the same day as the episode you saw last week in Selby, and it's making it very difficult to walk around. You have to be very careful not to slip over. Camblesforth was historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire until 1974. The place name Camblesforth is first attested to in the Domesday Book of 1086, where it appears as Camelsford and Camblesforth. The first element may be a river name corresponding to the Welsh camle, meaning crooked stream, so the name may mean the ford on the crooked stream. For hundreds of years it was only a small hamlet and had just a manor house with a lord of the manor, but in the past 3 decades it's grown to become a large village. Merleswain, the sheriff, was lord of the manor of Camblesforth in 1066. Ralph Paynell became lord of the manor in 1086 after Camblesforth suffered the harrowing of the north by William the Conqueror to subjugate northern England. The village was at the centre of national, public and media attention in July 2004 after the bodies of two 27-year-old twin sisters, Claire and Diane Sanderson, were found at a flat on Millfield Drive. During the 2012 Summer Olympics, Camblesforth was a relay point for the Olympic torch. The parish boundaries cover a sizable 8.6 square kilometres, most of which is Camblesforth Common, with the village situated in the southeastern corner next to Drax Power Station. Its size means the parish has a pretty small population density at 177.4. Most of the parish identifies as white British, with that figure coming in at 98.9%. The average house in the village goes on the market for £194,000. Bus routes connect the village with Selby and Goole. Your friend here is the 401 service, operating on an hourly basis. Now, how about this for a bus shelter, guys? We just get across the road. Look at this. It's obviously just a normal stone bus shelter, but it's been sculpted into, well, into the hedge almost. So, you know, I would imagine that it would feel like living in one of those underground houses, if you know what I mean. Stood in here. Foliage everywhere. Camblesforth is served by a post office which doubles as a convenience store. Next door to this is Camblesforth Fisheries, providing the village with a fish and chip takeaway. Beauty Office on Brig Lane is a salon and spa, and the postbox outside gives you a massive clue as to what this once was. It's the old post office. Camblesforth Community Primary School caters for early education, and Selby School, Snaith School and Brayton College are all on bus routes for the older pupils. The school hall is used every Tuesday for the parent and toddler group. There are two public houses here, the Comus Inn and the Black Dog, both situated on the main A1041 road. Here is the Comus Inn, which is notable for having been used as Camblesforth's polling station in various elections. So apparently the pub is to let. Didn't know that. I just knew that there was a pub here, and there's another one as well, which we'll see in a second. But yeah, apparently the Comus Inn is to let. The Black Dog is a ways away from the main village, being situated on the corner of Hardenshaw Lane. This is a traditional village pub and restaurant according to its very own website. Camblesforth used to have a village hall, but it shut its doors sometime before 2007, having been a village hub since the 1940s. Brig Lane has a small garden which is pretty much straight opposite the Methodist chapel. It looks like this is potentially lit up at Christmas time. There's another one of these gardens too, where Brig Lane meets the A1041. Camblesforth also has a small park and playground on the junction of Brig Lane and Mill Lane. This has an all-weather pitch and plenty of play equipment. Camblesforth Parish Council administers Camblesforth allotments, which are situated off Pinewood Drive. At present, all the plots are in use. And this is not really an amenity, but it's an open space like the others. This is a patch of what looks and feels very much like scrubland or waste ground between Mill Lane and Croft Road. I have no idea what this area was or indeed is even now. Maybe you Camblesforth locals can shed some light upon it. Camblesforth has a Methodist chapel dating from 1894, which is used for parish council and other meetings, one of which is the Wednesday Club for retired members who meet on the last Wednesday of every month. So the chapel behind me was erected in 1894 according to the stone above the door, and it's not the only old impressive building you can find in Camblesforth. If I pan the camera around, you can see the top of another one right there. That is Camblesforth Hall. Let's talk a little bit about that now. Camblesforth Hall is the oldest standing structure in the village. The Grade 1 hall was built between 1690 and 1700. Until fairly recently, it was a working farm, but in the last 10 years, it's fallen into a state of disrepair to the extent that it was almost placed on the Heritage at Risk register. Now it's thriving once again thanks to a couple from York who restored it to its former glory, although whilst doing so they discovered the name Frances Mary etched into a window. Research showed Frances was born in the hall in 1733 and inherited it on the death of her eldest brother, John Boynton Adams. Frances would marry local magistrate Jocelyn Price in 1765, and their daughter Clara was born at the hall in 1769. Out onto the road towards the Black Dog Inn, you'll also pass an old chapel too. So whilst I make my way without getting clobbered by that tree across this piece of scrubland, it's time to give you Camblesforth's picture bit. Here it comes right now. And that's pretty much Camblesforth. It's a large parish when you look at the parish boundaries, but you don't get much for your money here in terms of village, because Camblesforth itself is situated in the south eastern corner, and the rest of it to the north and west is very much fields, farmland, not really a lot to talk about. So yeah, in terms of video time, this one's not as long as I thought it was going to be, but it's very residential, and that kind of happens when you have a place like this, which is predominantly housing and not really much else. A few amenities dotted here and there, and a nice view, of course, of Drax Power Station. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Camblesforth doesn't have much more than what I've shown you. Nice place though. I have been here before, and I've always liked it. I've always liked Camblesforth. For some reason it has some kind of draw to it, not quite sure what it is, but it does. Anyway, time for me to move on to my next one. This has been the parish of Camblesforth, and I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and about.